I think I have just written my most messed up character. Um, and I wrote Artie, which if you haven't read Trip, he's a he's a full-blown sociopath. But we're talking about sci-fi horror that I'm writing. The crazy thing with this character, with this universe, is we're in 2073 after the aliens have essentially wiped out the majority of the population. And even in that lawless era, I know this person is beyond fucked up. But I want to tell you folks about some non-up stuff. Namely, I was at the Dark History and Horror convention this past weekend. Met a ton of really cool people, whether it be artists, authors, actors. Yeah, it was awesome. So I just want to highlight a couple really cool things that happened. First and foremost, I had one of the best table neighbors ever. If you're around the Paxton, Illinois area, pay a visit to the Bookworm Little Free Library. Persephone, who runs it in honor of suicide awareness for her brother and father, is just an amazing human. And she had this, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy that from you." She's like, "Well, Merry Christmas." And as the weekend went on, we talked a lot about some of our favorite books, gave each other recommendations. TBR is growing. Um, but she gave me this too. She said it's one of her favorites, and I'm a sucker for dark fantasy, so I'm pretty freaking excited for this one. Anyone read it? What do you think? Should I be excited? Because I'm excited. Next up, kind of diagonal from me, was a downstate Illinois author from the Springfield area. Eric Woods was able to snag this off of him. His description made me think of the John Carpenter film In the Mouth of Madness, because it's all about like a ghost town that has literally been wiped off the map. And it's a 3-book series, so I'm pretty excited to check this one out. Stokebridge. Plus, you gotta support the downstaters. Then there was Melissa Key. She was running around helping take care of this entire event. We talked about some books, some stories, local coffee, you name it. It was kind of all over the place. And when you can tell someone is just a like good soul? She's one of them. And she gave me this. Rune gets a depression. I kind of like peeked through it, and it seems to be like a really cute but a great way to talk about sadness and depression and making it less scary. Which I love scary, spooky, all of it. But this is a genius idea. Rune Gets Depression by Melissa Ann Key. Illustrated by Finn Elrod and Melissa Ann Key. A little bit further down the line was a fellow Shambana author in John Wesley Huff. Now, he had 2 books out and some comics, but I wanted to buy one of his books, so I asked him, which of your 2 novels is living rent-free in your head? Or, like, which one do you think about more often? And he said yes, partially because this is his newest novel, but he said there were some things he just couldn't stop thinking about. So, the Master of Shearhaven. It's gonna be kind of some horror fantasy, I believe. Second to last, straight across from me, the man I keep seeing but never find a chance to talk to, DM Gritzmacher. And the first book of his Skullduggery series, The Relict. This was actually a really cool series to hear him describe because it's all historical horror. There's blending timelines, and each book is kind of its own event, but it's all to deal with his spin, his take on supernatural elements of the past. And I'm really excited. But the last thing I'm gonna show you was an impulse buy that I couldn't say no to. An actual Shaun of the Dead shooting script recreation signed by Mark Donovan, who you probably won't recognize the name, but he's the big boy zombie from the early scenes of Shaun of the Dead. He's also in Les Mis. He's in Bruges, Doctor Who. He's got a pretty solid career. But talking with him specifically about working with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost on Shaun of the Dead, as well as one of my mother and my favorite movies, In Bruges, and working with Colin Farrell, I could have spent the entire time talking to him. He was so nice. He remembered too that like the first thing I said to him was, "Got a spot of red on you." So that's what he wrote on the script. Having this now, I also feel like I can learn a little bit more about what script writing looks like. Hmm? But yeah, so it was a great weekend. We're now 29 days of writing by hand, and yeah, enjoy spooky, everyone. And remember, I almost forgot Lo Siento. I even pulled this sticker up. One of the really cool artists who was there selling their work was at the Sinister Rex. Really nice guy, really funny. But this is the sticker I got from him. Know when to come and know when to go. But yeah, I mean, it was a great weekend. A lot of great new reads, great new people in the life. And thanks for letting me share this with you. Check out these authors, check out the Bookworm Little Free Library, and love you.